Sometimes narcissists do stupid things, which mean they end up losing people who they actually wanted to keep around in their life because those people had a lot to offer them. And sometimes they just can't get those people back. And that can haunt them for a long time. Sometimes they never forget. So narcissists like to think that they are immune to suffering the consequences of their actions. But sometimes someone comes into their life and teaches them a very painful lesson. And it's not usually planned or premeditated by that person. It's just destiny taking its course. And some would even say karma playing itself out. The perfect supply who's gone too soon and who's not coming back. The one who got away and the narcissist can't seem to make them return. You see, narcissists don't like losing supply when that person still had an abundance of supply to offer. Because, supply is like a resource. Narcissists want to use up everything they can. So they like to reap all the supply they can from that person through steady devaluation. And they get supply from the discard itself. So they like to get all the supply throughout those processes just to ensure they're not missing out on any of the precious resources that person can offer them. But occasionally what happens is narcissists think that the supply is more dependent on them than they really are. They think they can get away with pushing that person dangerously far. Pretending they don't care about the person, maybe faking a breakup, whatever. And narcissists, they do that just to reap the validation that comes from watching that person begging to return, begging to have the narcissist back, begging to provide an explanation of what's going on. Because when narcissists push people away very strongly and those people come begging to return, it uplifts the narcissist. It's a great feeling for them. It nourishes their body, mind, and soul. So your misery is their upliftment. It's not fair. It's just the narcissistic relationship. It's a natural dynamic. If you're in the narcissistic relationship, that's what you experience. But in the case of this person, the one who got away, the narcissist, they would have gambled. And of course, gambles do come with risks. So the narcissist would have done something where they would have pushed the person away. In some form, they would have done that. And the message that would have been communicated to that person through the narcissist's actions was, I don't want you in my life anymore. You're not important to me. I'm neither here nor there for you as a person. That's basically the message that's being communicated. And the narcissist calculates and hopes that that's going to land to make the person desperate, wanting to return. But occasionally, the person might just accept the narcissist's wishes and decide, okay, I'm gone. Which, of course, was not what they expected. So now the narcissist is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because if they let things stand as they are, then the narcissists, they're missing out on very valuable supply at a time when they really need the supply. It's like they had a lot of precious metals that they just threw away. And they have to accept that. Or if they try to get the person back, A, it'll make them look like a fool, and B, they don't know if they will succeed. And just the thought of that is daunting because they don't know how they would go about it. Like, how do they even start? So there's no good outcome. There's no good outcome. And the narcissist will ponder and think what course of action to take. And of course, that causes them to experience a strong level of dissonance, of cognitive dissonance of their own. And then they have to face, reality and face these things, the issues, what would actually happen, which was Did they underestimate the supply? Were they not as important to the supply as they thought they were? Is the narcissist easily replaceable? They thought that they were the most important thing in the target's life. And then the narcissist goes on thinking that the person must return. Of course, they're not going to go away and stay away. Kind of that denial kicking in, where they just can't accept that the person might be okay with it and might be better, except they're better off. So the narcissists, they hate accepting their own miscalculations. They hate accepting they made a mistake. And they hate accepting that they made a mistake, which backfires on them tremendously. And to make matters so much worse, they hate the fact that the perfect supply was in the palm of their hands. And they had a moment of stupidity. They were being greedy. They wanted an extra punch of supply through the validation of pretending they wanted to push the person away, and then they lost it all. So now the narcissist is a mess because narcissists don't function well when supply is low. They don't really function like a normal human being. And the fact that the other person clearly doesn't want the narcissist back. The fact that the target, their previous supply, is okay to be distant, away, gone, out of the life of the narcissist, it just makes the narcissist want that person even more. Because all of a sudden that person seems so much more valuable. Well, surely, if they have it in them to make it through life without the narcissist, they must be much more valuable than the narcissist ever gave them credit for. Because the narcissist thought they were dependent, worthless, low self-esteem, low self-respect, all that. So the narcissist is stuck in the situation where they want the person even more. Thanks for watching.